As we all know, in Roblox doors, there's already the hotel, the mines, and soon-to-be castle. Well, not that soon, which is confirmed in the ending of floor 2. But what's next? After the castle, or in other words, floor 4. So we're going to be going over a few theories on what it could be and ranking how possible they are to being added. Some of these theories are from my subscribers, so thank you so much for submitting them, and some of them are my own. But let's not waste any more of your time and get into the first fan theory, which is by PS Plays. He goes on a lot about something else, but in the end he says, the Labyrinth, which I think is a pretty cool idea. But do I think there's actually a possibility of it coming to doors? Well, not really. I do think the idea would be really cool for a separate Roblox game, but for doors, I just don't think it fits it really well. But to be honest, since mazes are quite often found in castles, I do think it could be some sort of boss fight or important room in the castle itself. I just don't think an entire floor would be based off of it. Maybe this will actually be right and it will be a labyrinth and you'll prove all of us wrong, but me personally, for all these reasons I just listed, I think it's going to be a 1 out of 5 stars for likeliness. This next one is from Gloss. Honestly, I think it'll be something similar like outside. And honestly, there will be a floor that'll be outside, and that is a subfloor for, I think, floor 2. And this is already confirmed, like, by a bunch of different things to be a subfloor of either the mines or the hotel. And I really don't think they're going to make two outdoor things, so I think it'll just be the subfloor, and I don't really think floor 4 will be this. So I'm gonna rate this another 1 out of 5 stars. Once again, I'm sorry. This is a good idea, but it's going to be a subfloor already, so I don't think it'll be floor 4. The next theory we have is by Real Giant Noob. He says, I don't know, but if I had to guess, the laboratory. And I actually had that idea before too, and it's a pretty good idea because laboratories can have a ton of doors and would be pretty cool to have a bunch of different room variations, and I really do like that idea. Let's dive into it a little bit more. This floor could really go into the lore about how the doors entities were created and how they came to be, because of course it's a laboratory. And if they wanted to bring back some unused entities, they could probably put them into little cells, like all frozen up and stuff, which could be a pretty cool idea. And they found a way to make mine shafts cool. I'm sure they can find a way to make a laboratory really cool. Which is why that's a 4 out of 10. Impeccable theory. You know, I'm gonna ask my siblings what they think it'll be. Now, Braxton, what do you think floor 4 will be indoors, so after the castle?
I feel like it'll be like an orphanage, because... Okay, now this is why.
And why?
Because these random kids just came out of nowhere who walked through this hotel, and then you're completing these like for like the hotel and the mines.
What impeccable lore. All right, there you have it, folks. Braxton thinks it's gonna be a sort of orphanage floor. And honestly, I think it's a cool idea, but the only thing is, I don't think there's gonna be a bunch of random children wandering around the mines. I don't think these children yearn for the mines. An orphanage would be a pretty cool environment, and they have a bunch of doors and a lot of rooms that could work well. And I think there could also be some pretty cool entity designs that have to do with children's toys, so that's why I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Cool theory. And for you, what are your predictions?
Full flow. Because under the I gotta hit under like you dig, so I think there's gonna be dungeons because they're going like under.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. I was thinking of something that could be under it.
Oh, it might be the dungeons could be a subfloor.
Subfloor. That's what I was thinking when I got a few comments on my video saying that the dungeon should be floor 4, but I think it should be a subfloor of the castle. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. But I'm gonna give that theory a 3 out of 5 stars because a lot of you guys seem to think that floor 4 will be a dungeon, but I think it'll be some sort of subfloor, so that's why I'm not giving it any more stars than 3. This next theory is from Amethysty F6X. They say, the foundation. It's basically the sewers, but more like a bunker. And I quite like that idea. I do think it'd be pretty cool to have some sort of bunker or hideout underneath the castle or near the castle. And if I were to stretch out your idea to sort of a military base or military hideout, that might have not even been at all what you were thinking, like a military bunker or hideout, but hey, my video, I'm gonna stretch out your theory, I'm sorry. And it wouldn't even have to be specifically that. It could just be some hideout for some sort of organization, which I think could be really interesting. It could have a ton of different rooms, a ton of different cool entities, and mostly a lot of lore. And to get there at the end of the castle, it could probably end at some sort of big vault door or something to get in. So I'm gonna give this another 4 out of 5 stars for likeliness. The final fan theory is by Rowan Y6Z. He says, I feel like it could be a school because they have a lot of doors and could work well as a floor. And I definitely agree with this one. Here's why. One reason I think this is a great theory is because schools have a huge variety of different rooms. Classrooms, staff rooms, gymnasium, janitor closets and science rooms, gymnasiums, libraries, study rooms, music rooms, cafeterias, and even more. Places to hide and places to loot are already covered because inside of classrooms there's already drawers and in the halls there's lockers. And like in the mines, some bigger lockers can be used to hide in. And I don't know if you've ever witnessed school, but it is terrifying. Also, have you ever seen a school hallway, like dark? Yeah, that is creepy. So they could definitely do something really cool to make it a scary floor. That right there is an impeccable 4.5 star theory. Even if it is not the 4th floor, they've got to do a school at some point. But now for the best theory in the entire video. The most impeccable, the most creme de la crop. Did I use that word correctly? Oh, I guess I did. Anyway, this is my theory. Doors floor 4 will be an ancient crypt. Okay, let me explain why. And yeah, this theory is pretty unlikely, so take it with the tiniest little grain of salt. But I did tie this theory in with some of the Doors lore. If you've seen Game Theory's latest video on Doors, you would have known some of these things that I'm about to say, but I'm gonna explain it for anyone who hasn't watched it. Now, even though the Doors devs had specifically said that this game is not going in a religious way, but it kind of seems like it is. One piece of evidence is that inside of the hotel there is a courtyard with a statue, and on its pedestal, which when translated says limbo. If you don't know what it means, this is the definition. Now, pretty much exactly quoting the game theory here, in limbo there is a large river separating it from the real world. Then there is a stream, then a castle, which is exactly what we see in the ending of floor 2. Now, in my theory, with all the hints we're getting towards the third light, I feel like in the ending of floor 3, we are going to meet this red light. And he is going to get mad that we completed his challenges in the castle. And he's going to send us down levels of this fictional religion's, well, heck. Now, this sounds like a huge stretch, but it makes sense with the lore of Doors. And a crypt-themed floor has a lot of potential for a lot of really cool entities. And would also make sense because it can have a lot of rooms. And the whole floor will take place deep underneath the castle, where in real life, crypts are underneath very important places. There could be cool mummy-type entities, and it could really be scary compared to some of the other floors. If you don't agree with me, that's completely fine. But what do I think is the possibility of this actually coming to Doors? Well, I'm not going to say in this video. What I want you to do is I want you to go down to the comments. Yes, right now, and rate 1 to 5 stars on how possible you think this is. And while you're down there, let me know your ideas for what floor 4 could be. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. Have an impeccable day, and goodbye.